Yo, what up, Street Dogs? Eric Kim. Alright, the thought. What should I do with my life once I retire, or I am retired, or I'm rich, or whatever? So, this is actually the funny thing is, a lot of us are striving to become, I don't know, you know, all these millennial buzzwords like location independent, digital nomad, and then fucking Corona happened, right? So, you know, let me just kind of think more like long term. Thinking about like, you know, let's assume you're retired or rich or whatever. The funny thing is that like to retire, you don't actually even need that much money. And you know, all this financial planning nonsense, I think it's a big scam. Essentially, it's just like, just feed yourself on super cheap industrial meats. I could buy pork for 99 cents a pound. You did the maths, right? Like, let's assume the average human cannot eat more than 2 pounds of meat a day. That's $2 a day, times that by 30. It only costs you 60 bucks a month in food. That's like the price of like an appetizer plus a main dish for two at a restaurant. So for the price of one meal eating out, you can feed yourself for a month. And this is the thing, is that a lot of people, you know, they want to be rich and retired and live this fancy lifestyle. But once again, with fucking COVID, there ain't nothing to do no more. So my suggestion is better to opt for kind of this aesthetic, you know, like poverty or ghetto lifestyle than striving to be uber rich and fancy or whatever. Anyways, so this is just my basic thoughts. It seems for me at least, oh, so beautiful. What does it mean? So for me, I actually get the greatest amount of joy, like creating things, going on nice walks around the block, getting some fresh air, chatting with people. Nice, like there's, for me actually, there's fewer greater joys than the joy of great conversation with interesting people, loved ones, and stuff like that. And I think actually one of my goals is I'm striving to look for, meet interesting peoples and also impressive human beings in the flesh. So obviously this is a lot harder with today's brave new COVID world, but I still think it's possible. So anyways, so you know, to pursue your artistic endeavors, to create your artworks, whether it be you making photos, videos, poetry, whatever. And you know, how should one best share it? So it's like super simple. I would just say the easiest way to share your artwork is this thing called the internet, right? Just make a website, bluehost.com, install wordpress.org, and then you could share your photos, your videos, whatever, infinitely scalable. And in theory, 1 trillion people could look at your photos all at once, rather than like physical spaces. And you know, this is my thought. I think moving forward, the physical space is gonna be dead. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I'm not interested in going to a physical museum or a physical art space or gallery, whatever. I'd be much more interested in just looking at photos on the internet or artworks on the internet. And so I think there's a huge thing to be said with, like, you know, people are all about like interior design, interior decor. I'm like, how about website design and website decor? Just try to make your website, your own page, the most blissful, beautiful thing possible. And also using your time to think, to philosophize, to come up with what I like to call turbo thoughts. I get that from my friend Kanye, right? And yeah, to stay in motion, to keep moving, to keep thinking, to keep walking, to keep talking, to, you know, get the gains, get the brain gains, but also get the physiological gains, like the muscular gains. Is really important. During the day, intermittent fasting, no breakfast, no lunch. Break your fast with a meat forward meal, like my my friend says. Shout out to my friend Courtney. So yeah, it's you know, use this life to experiment, have fun. I think it's useful to pursue entrepreneurship in the spirit of fun, of happiness, and of joy. To not take life too seriously. And I think you're living correctly, or you're doing it right, if every single day, and as life goes on, as you get older, life becomes more interesting, fun, and complex and deeper. You know, there's a nice saying from Nassim Taleb. He has a quote, it's like a Venetian quote, you know, from Venice, Italy. The sea gets deeper the further you wade into it, which means same thing with knowledge, philosophy, art, everything in between. So let us plumb the depths, discover new knowledge, new knowledges, and share it with others.